What is up, everybody? It's Cobes here, and today I am back with a Fortnite video. In today's video, I will be ranking every single Battle Pass skin from worst to best, including the AIM skin, the Enforcer, and the Visitor. So guys, honestly, as of right now, maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but a lot of these skins do not look appealing to me. Maybe it's because we're in Season 7 and I just don't care for a lot of these skins anymore, but a lot of them I think are bad. In the comment section, tell me what you think overall about all the Battle Pass skins. Do you think there are more good or bad Battle Pass skins, or is it somewhere in the middle? Do you like a lot of them, but you also dislike a lot of them? Or do you like just almost every single Battle Pass skin in this game? To be honest, guys, this isn't a perfect list, and if I made it tomorrow, it would probably be a little bit different than it was today, but a lot of the skins in the top 10 I really love, and they would probably remain in the top 10. So let's start it out at my number 39 spot. My God, 39 different skins I have to rank in this video. It's gonna be a long one, but I'll try to speed through some of them that I just don't care to talk about. I would have to say the worst Battle Pass skin in this game, easily the Squad Leader. I remember when I first made a video about ranking, whenever the Squad Leader came out, maybe Season 4, Season 5, I can't remember. Whenever I made that video, I said he was the worst Battle Pass skin in that season. People were like, Cobes Mind, you are the dumbest human being to ever exist. You are so stupid, I should kill you in real life. It's like, Jesus, settle down. But really, the Squad Leader is the worst Battle Pass skin in this game. But people said they really liked him. They thought he was the best. You use that skin, I'm assuming. If you left that comment, if you even think the skin's decent, you use them, right? Yeah, you use them from time. I'm sure of that. I've never seen the Squad Leader used ever in this game. I don't think I ever will. Squad Leader, easily one of the worst. Very basic design. I can't believe it was tier 87. Moving on to my number 38 spot. Maybe it's because I have some resentment towards it. I have to give it to the Visitor. I feel like everyone was so excited. Everyone was anticipating the Visitor. And then when it came out, it was complete trash. Honestly, maybe that's why it's so low on this list. I don't think it's the worst skin in this game, but I do think it's super bad. And the fact that it was like a challenge skin, you had to grind for it. I remember grinding like 6 hours for it, landing at Risky Reel over and over again, trying to open up chests for God knows what reason. But to me, I feel like just because of the anticipation, just because we thought it was all gonna be so sick, and it turned out to be just a bland, boring skin that no one uses, I feel like it deserves to be at the very bottom of this list. Moving on to my number 37 spot, I had to give it to a skin I don't think belongs in the Battle Pass, the Battle Hawk. The Battle Hawk, just a very plain army design that I don't care for. Such plain colors that just don't appeal to me. This skin isn't appealing. If it came to the item shop and it was uncommon, maybe I'd like it a little bit more than if it was in the Battle Pass, but since it's in the Battle Pass, I just have no love for it. Moving on to my number 36 spot, the Huntress. I think the Huntress is a little bit better, but it suffers the same fate as the Battle Hawk. The Battle Hawk, just a very plain skin like the Huntress. I think they're both very plain, and I don't care to use either of them. I'll be honest, I've used them maybe a total of 5 times, maybe 5 games or less throughout my whole entire Fortnite career, and I don't see myself ever going back to them. Moving on to my number 35 spot, I had to give it to the Giddy Up. The Giddy Up, I can credit it to being a little bit more creative than everyone below it, but I can't say it's much better. I really hate this skin. It's a funny skin that I dislike. Moving on to my number 34 spot, I had to give it to the Mission Specialist. When this one first came out, I thought it was hot trash. Now, I think it's even hotter of trash that I can just not pick up. I can never use this skin. Mission Specialist, complete garbage. I will give it credit though. All these skins, the Mission Specialist and below, I will admit, they are fun to use if you have a squad and you just kind of want to troll around and use trash skins. It is fun to use these skins if you want to just use hot garbage. Use these skins with a full squad. You go out and use a full squad of Giddy Ups. It's pretty funny, I will admit that. I do like it for that factor. Other than that, solo, I'm never going to use these skins. Moving on to my number 33 spot, I had to give it to the Carbide. The Carbide, a very underwhelming skin as of right now. I feel like when he first first came out, he was somewhat cool. He was one of the first skins alongside Omega that did have upgrades, and I feel like that really helped out Fortnite. Having upgrades in Fortnite is really cool, but Carbide, definitely not one of those skins that lives up like the Omega, I would say, does. Omega, even to the extent, probably doesn't live up to the name of, let's say, a Ragnarok, that really you can tell the difference between upgrades, or a Calamity, something very simple, but still you can tell that it's being upgraded. It's not just a little bit of armor here and there. Moving on to my number 32 spot, I had to give it to the Nightshade. Nightshade, a very basic skin that really reminds me of the Fate. If you guys did not know, you can only see the back of the skin in game. Fate is basically the Nightshade. The Nightshade is basically Fate. Like, there's a tomato head there, but can you really see it in game? I'm in the party of the back of the skin has to look really cool, alongside the front of the skin has to look very cool. If the front of the skin looks awesome, but the back of the skin is very plain, it's not going to be a good skin, because when you actually use it in game, it doesn't look as good as when it's just like on your loading screen, when you can just see the front of the skin, if that makes any sense. Nightshade, to me, very basic skin, don't care to use it. Even the front of the skin doesn't look all that great in my eyes. Moving on to my number 31 spot, I had to give it to Technique. Just a very basic skin design that doesn't live up past, you know, the season it was first conceived in. I just used a lot of big words there, I don't know why, but Technique, just a very basic skin. The all gray color scheme really isn't appealing to me. Very basic hooded character. Nothing too special here. Moving on to my number 30 spot, I had to give it to the Zenith. The Zenith, I know it came out this season. Maybe I have a little bit more hatred towards it because it came out this season and I ranked it so low, and I felt like I had to put it low on this list, but to be honest, it's a skin I just won't use. It's not appealing to me. Another hooded character, wow, shocking. Moving on to my number 29 spot, I had to give it to the Moonwalker. The Moonwalker is sort of like the Mission Specialist, just nothing special as of right now. I feel like there's been too many Ashnot skins in this game. And this one isn't appealing to me. Moving on to my number 28 spot, I had to give it to the off-brand Nogops, the Powder. I feel like if there's going to be some sort of like a reskin or off-brand version of something else, it has to be better. And in this case, it's not better. It's actually a lot worse. I feel like the Nogops has those very vibrant colors, and it overall just looks amazing. Powder, it just doesn't fit the criteria. Very bland color scheme, nothing really meshes up together with the color scheme as well. I think overall it's a poor attempt at a off-brand Nogops. I think they could have went in a completely different direction. Take this out of the game. Moving on to my number 27 spot, I had to give it to Zoe. And Zoe on this list so far is one of the most vibrant colored skins, but I can't put it any higher up on this list. I'll be honest, I wanted to love this skin because it's just something completely different. It's sort of like the Cuddle Team leader in the Battle Pass, but it doesn't really live up to its name. Its colors are there, it's very colorful, but I just don't like the design. It's sort of like a girl's toy. It's for girls. Alright, am I sexist for saying that? Moving on to my number 26 spot, I had to give it to the Valor. The Valor, overall, a decent skin. It sort of reminds me of the Triceratops in all honesty, but I just don't like it. I really don't. It's average, it's better than every skin below it, but it's still not very great, and it shouldn't be any higher up on this list. Moving on to my number 25 and 24 spot. At my number 25 spot, the Royale Knight. My 24, the Blue Squire. I felt like these skins continue to just beat out all the skins below them. I love their design a lot more each and each season. I feel like eventually these are going to break into the top 20, maybe break into the top 15, eventually the top 10. We'll see if that ever happens. I'm not gonna go as far as to say that, but I could see them going into the top 20 maybe next season. I do think their medieval look they have definitely looks a lot better than anything below it on the list. The rest below it are either very plain, or if they're not, like the Zoe and Valor, very colorful. They just don't work out in my eyes. Moving on to my number 23 spot, I had to give it to the Enforcer. And the Enforcer, for a guy hooded character, I was actually somewhat surprised. Maybe it's because the Visitor was so horrible that I actually fell in love with the Enforcer a little bit more. But I do think the Enforcer for a challenge skin is a safe bet, but I still do like the skin. You know, the gray, the black, if you're going for a safe skin, as I like to say, well, you would go for something that looks similar to the Enforcer. You're gonna go with a skin that looks similar to the Fate. You're gonna go safe. You're not gonna go like crazy like the Zoe, because that's taking too much of a risk in Epic's eyes, and they don't want to mess up again like they did with the Visitor. That's how I feel about the Enforcer. It's a decent skin. Moving on to my number 22 spot, I had to give it to the AIM. I do like this skin, but I don't think it really stands up to a lot of these skins above it. I do like the robot design, I like the pants design, I like the frost on his arms and on his legs throughout his whole body. I think overall he's a cool skin, but I don't think the challenge skins will ever live up to the name of some of these battle pass skins that are either tier 100 or tier 1. Moving on to my number 21 spot, I had to give it to the Omega. In comparing it to all the tier 100 skins, I don't really think he has a place any higher up on this list, guys. I really don't. I think compared to all the tier 100 skins, he's definitely on the bottom of the list. I don't think he's really all that great, guys. I'm sorry to say it, I really am. And Dom the Bomb, he tweeted out that he was his favorite battle pass skin in this game. Dom the Bomb, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, man. I still love your content. Moving on to my number 20 spot, I had to give it to the Dark Voyager. Overall, I do feel like right in the middle of this list, the number 19 and 20 are right in the middle. I feel like the Dark Voyager deserves that spot at the very least. I feel like as we progress further in seasons, once we're at season 8, season 9, season 10, he will continue to move up. The Dark Voyager, I do like the look. I love the all black design. The astronaut skins, maybe, just maybe a little bit, they're growing on me. Dark Voyager, you're still at the number 20 spot though. Moving on to my number 19 spot, I had to give it to the Trog. I do overall like the Trog's design. I like the sort of meme theme he has as a skin. Overall, his color scheme's good as well. The white and black, or the white and blue. Overall, I just think he's a decent skin. Moving on to my number 18 spot, I had to give it to the John Wick. The John Wick has fallen a little bit, but maybe he'll recover later on in later seasons. But John Wick overall, definitely a great skin that I love. I think he really stands out in this game, but there's a lot of other skins that stand out as well. He's a very plain skin design, but I do think he does not fit the skin design in this game. If you compare him to any skin in this game, I really don't see like a case. I don't think you can. Moving on to my number 17, 16, and 15 spot, I clumped these all together. My number 17, the Red Line, 16, Sunstrider, and Rook is at our number 15 spot. I think these skins are all very similar. They're all very simple girl skins with either red, black, or a little bit of both. And I think the Rook is the best out of the three. I think the Red Line is still a great skin, but she isn't as good as the Sunstrider. And again, I do think the Rook is the best out of the three. So that's my list for those three. I hope you guys understand why I clumped those together. I think they deserve to be. Moving on to my number 14 spot, I had to give it to Ragnarok. And overall, I do think this skin does get better with age, or levels, or upgrades, whatever you want to say. To be honest, Ragnarok definitely looks a lot better fully upgraded than the Omega does, and I feel like I've felt that way for a very long time. Ragnarok, definitely not a bad choice if you want to just use this skin. You know, if all these skins were in the game right now, if they all came out at the same time, would this list be completely different? I would hope it wouldn't be. I feel like the Ragnarok would be at my number 14 spot. Maybe he would be even higher because he's very creative. Moving on to my number 13 spot, I had to give it to the Calamity. And overall, I still love the Calamity's design. I love her at the base stage 1 and her fully upgraded base stage 5. She looks amazing. I think that cloak still looks amazing. I think the colors on the cloak as you upgrade it look amazing. Overall, I think this is just a safe bet if you're going for a good skin. Moving on to my number 12 spot, I had to give it to Rustlord. Rustlord overall, definitely a great skin. I still love him. I know a lot of people hate on the Rustlord, but he's one of those meme skins that I still go back to and I love using if I'm trying to just troll people. Let's move on to my number 11 spot. I had to give it to the Fable. The Fable with that all red look, she could have been grouped up with the Rook, the Sunstrider, and the Red Line, but I do think she's in a league of her own. I think she is better than those three skins. That's why she's way higher up on this list. I think the Fable definitely stands out, and I do love her very detailed yet simple design she has. The color red definitely looks good on her, and I think she is one of the only hooded characters that isn't like black. There's probably probably some other black, like hooded characters that aren't black, maybe even some on this list that, you know, I completely forgot about, but I think she definitely stands out. We're moving into the top 10, guys, and I hope you guys don't disagree too much, and if you do, make sure to leave it in the comment section. But I had to do it. I had to add the Drift into the top 10. The Drift is a great skin that I absolutely love. The Drift is something I'll use all the time, and I do think I'll continue to use him all the time. I think he is a better version of the Calamity, and he did come out before the Calamity, and I do think they got inspiration from the Drift to make the Calamity. I think the jacket design is amazing. I think the pink, the gold, the black, and the white all mix in really well. They mesh together perfectly. I think the Drift definitely deserves to be the number 10 spot, or at least in the top 10, if not higher. Moving on to my number 9 spot, I had to give it to the Dusk, and you guys may disagree, but I really do like the vampire themed skins. The Sanctum, the Dusk are both great skins to me. I like the sort of grayish purple color her skin tone is. I think that's amazing. Her hair is amazing. Overall, just a great skin that I love to use. Moving on to my number 8 spot, I had to give it to the Dire, and overall I thought the Dire looked a lot better last season, but I still do think he's a great skin. He definitely stands out. He's in a league of his own compared to any skin on this list. He's actually a werewolf, which I do think is pretty cool. Werewolf, vampires, what are we in? Tell me in the comments section. Moving on to a very surprising one for my number 7 spot, I had to give it to the Sergeant Winter. And overall, the Sergeant Winter is an amazing skin at stage 2. I think at stage 1 he isn't that great. Stage 3 he's a little bit better than stage 1, but the Santa Claus head at stage 2 is his best upgrade. And I feel like if you're gonna use them at stage 2, and that's what I'm gonna use them only. Once I get stage 3, I might try them out once, twice, but I'm gonna always go back to that stage 2. I really love the festive theme designs in this game, and honestly a Santa Claus design, I don't think you can go wrong with him. And I think his like head is pretty funny looking. Moving on to my number 6 spot, I had to give it to DJ Yonder, and I know I'm gonna get a ton of hate for this. I get it, it's a bot skin. I still love his very colorful design. I think he's sort of like a Zoe, but a good version of the Zoe. I know they're not similar skins, but they both are very colorful, and I feel like Zoe could take some pages out of the DJ Yonder handbook and maybe make her skin a little bit better. DJ Yonder, one of my favorites, I love him. Moving on to my number 5 spot, I had to give it to the Ice King. Overall, the Ice King, I wouldn't say is my favorite tier 100 skin, but he's definitely up there. He's at my number 2 spot. Maybe that'll change when I make an updated version of this video. We'll have to wait and see. But Ice King, definitely not a bad skin. Definitely a great skin, I would say. He definitely stands out, but you know, maybe it's just because he's this season's tier 100 skin that he's so high up on this list. Really, only time will tell. Moving on to my number 4 spot, I had to give it to the iconic Black Knight. And I feel like I've been disrespecting the Black Knight for a while now. And honestly, the Frozen Red Knight really made me love the Black Knight more. I think I put a little bit more respect on the Black Knight's name than I did before that skin was leaked. I think those type of like knight skins definitely deserve some respect from me, and the Black Knight, one of the most iconic battle pass skins, I have to put him in the top 5. Moving on to my number 3 spot, I had to give it to the Lynx. The Lynx overall, definitely a great girl skin, and honestly the top 3 are girl skins. Lynx I think will remain an iconic skin. You know, Calamity, definitely a good one, but I don't think she's gonna be iconic, sort of like some skins I'm gonna mention later on in this video are. And I do think the Lynx does have that sort of iconic look to it that I think will remain throughout many seasons of Fortnite. Moving on to my number 2 spot, I had to give it to the Elite Agent. My number 1 spot, the Sparkle Specialist. Honestly guys, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see if anything can take out my number 1 and 2 spot in the future. I really hope so. But my number 2 spot, the Elite Agent, is a skin I can go to whenever, like, I don't know what skin to use. If I just want a very simple all black army design, I'll go with the Elite Agent. I love that. Maybe it's a spy skin or an army design. I don't know what it is exactly, but overall, I love the color scheme. Such a simple skin that works with a ton of back bling. Sparkle Specialist, an iconic skin in my eyes. I absolutely love it. Tell me in the comment section what you think. Did you hate this list? I know some of you probably did. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.